Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, what are the hard truths of this incarnation? What are the hard truths of this spiritual path? Is that we are dragged through some form of hell here on planet Earth. And we are being asked to respond with love, with courage. And most of us, we haven't quite figured this out just yet. When we live by ego rules and the rules of the collective conscious, we have this idea that the world is just, the world is fair. I'm a good person. Good things should happen to me. Bad things should happen to bad people. I should feel safe all the time and feel supported. And again, like these are great ideas. They're great thoughts. They're great. It's a great way of viewing the world. It's just the problem is it's not the truth. It's not the truth. The truth is we are incarnated into a school that has rules, that has challenges. And these challenges invite us to grow beyond our egoic ideology, our egoic wiring. And most of us are going to fail at this. We fail every day at this. Every day. Every day. We have a thought, life should be fair. And there's a basic truth, a basic spiritual truth. It's not. It's not fair. No one likes this teaching. No one likes, what I'm saying here. People are like, oh, bad things happen to bad people. Good things happen to good people. Just meditate and stay in the safety of your own home and all this will pass and all good things will happen to you. It's like not how life works. And we have to wake up and be courageous enough to see like what's going on here in us and in our path. And especially like if we've been on this path a long time, maybe we've just been on the path for 6 months. We're like, why aren't I healing? Why isn't anything changing? Well, I'll ask you, are you doing anything different than what your mind is telling you? The whole game here is to step into something greater than our mind. The whole game, whether we're having a great day or the worst day ever. The whole game is, can you step into something greater, a greater view? And let's have some fun with it. Let's get extreme with it. You're laying in bed, you have chronic illness, you have Kundalini Shakti flowing through you, it's lighting up all your chakras, and it's not lighting them up in a pretty way, it's lighting them up in a difficult way where you feel pressurized and this intensity. The normal response from all of us in this room is just be like, oh my God, this sucks. It's terrible. God, will you make it stop? Will you change it? Please, please, will you change it? Like, why is this happening to me? This isn't fair. This isn't right. These are all normal human thoughts. And the game, the framework that we incarnated into is, can you embrace hell with love? Can you embrace hell with love? And any of us, rightly so, from a place of human compassion, would say, screw this. Like, this isn't fair. This isn't right. I don't want to embrace this. I have every right to complain. And listen, you do. You have every right to complain. I have every right to complain. Anyone who incarnates here on planet Earth has a right to complain. The problem is complaining entrenches us more deeply into the mud. Resistance, which is a normal response to Kundalini Shakti. Like the human body says, I don't know what this is, therefore I resist it. And then we hear a silly spiritual teaching. I hate this one. Whatever you resist persists. Like I hate it when when teachers come up with these little things. They're like little jingles, that they rhyme, like Dr. Seuss things. Whatever you resist will persist. Whatever you resist will persist. You have criticism in yourself, you judge it. And what happens? It persists. You judge the judge and you have more judgment. And this life, this path, this game, if I can call it a game, it seems uncompassionate to call it a game, but I just want to call it a game right now. I just want to play with this. We look out at our life and we see it as a game. I have to explain this to my 10-year-old daughter all the time. She likes to win whatever game we're playing, and she doesn't like to follow the rules. Yeah. So she's always cheating somehow, sneaking this or that. It's kind of fun. It's innocent. She's a little girl. It's like, hey, sweetie, it's no longer a game if you're not playing by the rules. Like if we don't agree to the rules, it's no longer a game. And we humans try to do this. We try to tell God what the rules are. And God is always telling us, no, no, you're not in charge. I'm in charge. This is my game. And we can kick and scream and whine and moan and complain all day long. All day long. And it will do nothing for us except for entrench us, take us back further and further back, further and further back, further and further back on the path. And so I'm going to invite you all right now to close your eyes. And I just want you to feel into your body, into your heart, into your deep spiritual heart. And I invite you to ask yourself, how is this teaching landing? How is it landing? Is there part of you in this moment resisting, saying, no, life should be fair? And you have this silly guy on the computer telling you, guess what? It's not. Now, the only reason this silly guy on the computer is saying, guess what? It's not, because this guy in the computer has learned some of the rules of this world, some of the rules of this path, some of the rules of this path. And so as you breathe and as you feel into your body, I'm going to invite you to ask yourself, am I willing to play by the rules? Am I willing to accept the rules? And the basic rule here is God is inviting you to accept your life fully, to accept this world fully, to accept your experience in regards to Kundalini Shakti fully and completely. Can you accept this? And as you accept the truth, you may begin to notice a sweet peacefulness coming into the room. A sweet peacefulness. A gentle sense of nobility, a nobility that comes from remembering that you are a soul, not a human ego, a soul that outlives everything, a soul that cannot be destroyed, a soul that is timeless and eternal, and yet eternally growing and evolving into something greater. Now, when we say it this way, it sounds much sweeter. I'm a soul who's growing by the grace of God. And so this basic question, do you want to drink from the cup of grace, the cup of truth? Or do we want to argue and fight with God? And from a human, compassionate perspective, I'll tell you, you have every right to fight, to argue, to resist, to complain. I fully validate your pain and suffering. But there's a problem here. God is the game maker. God is the rule maker. God is the path maker. God is the maker of all. And can we have faith in this? Can we trust in God's way, in God's will? Can we trust these basic truths? Let's bring another one forward. What is in one is in the all. The beauty of Christ, the beauty of the Buddha is in you, is in you, is in you. And so is the resistance of the unconsolable child. It's the resistance of the unconsolable child. And so can we open to the higher truth? And can we forgive the lower truth? Can we open to the higher truth and forgive the lower truth? And this is how we progress in the game, on this path of enlightenment. This is how we win the game. Through walking in the direction of the Christ. Through walking in the direction of the Christ. And walking away from our ego. In Kundalini terms, this is how we help the Kundalini sort itself out and integrate within us. Through choosing the higher way when the lower way makes sense. And so I'm going to invite you again to look deeply into your heart, maybe feeling down into your solar plexus, feeling into your throat. And I want you to look at the choice that is before you. I invite you to see a higher road. And the normal, we don't even need to call it the lower road. We can just call it the normal, everyday human road. We've all walked this human road a long time, many days. It's brought us some good things and some bad things and some mediocre things. It's brought us our life. And now we have this choice at this moment in history. Are we going to continue to walk this lower road with our self-judgment, our criticism, our fear, our belief that this suffering will go on forever, that it will never end, our insecure thoughts, our anger at the injustice in the world, our righteous anger about how life should be fair, but it's not. All these unconscious voices within us that just seem to shut down and close off and resist. All these thoughts that fill our mind and we don't even know where they come from. Are we going to allow ourselves to continue to unconsciously walk the human path? Or will we say yes to this higher road? Or we accept our pain and suffering? Where we have faith in God and faith in ourselves? Or we choose to love that which we hate? We choose to embrace that which we resist? Or we choose to smile at fear and embrace darkness? And so I ask you to feel around inside and look. What is the question? What is the choice that is before you specifically, you uniquely? What's coming forward in your life right now? To be loved? To be forgiven? What's here? As wanting to be loved or forgiven? What's the thing today that you'll tell yourself, I'm done hiding from this? I'm choosing to face this with love. And for some of us, it's a tricky thing. As we look around inside, we don't see anything. And yet our whole body feels tight and tense, closed off, feels worn out. And sometimes our choice to wake up is in the very place we do not look. We have despondency, a sense of hesitation. We're shut off or shut down, completely unwilling to see what we are addicted to. And for some of us, it's a crazy thing. We can get addicted to resistance to the point of exhaustion. And then we're so exhausted, we can't even see that we have a choice. For some of us, it's self-hatred. And we're addicted to self-hatred. We're addicted to being unworthy. We're addicted to righteousness or being right. We're addicted to being in control. And oftentimes these addictions hide in the shadows. We're addicted to the familiar. And if we just look at any of these questions in Kundalini terms, we will see wherever we're addicted, our chakras will be closed and this Kundalini will not be able to flow. And when God can't flow, God will build pressure and turn up the heat and turn up the heat. And we will begin to be boiled. And so this is a tough teaching today. That here we are in Earth School. And we have a choice to play by God's rules. To choose the higher way. And eventually get some form of relief. And actually grow and evolve as a soul. And walk in the direction of enlightenment. But enlightenment comes through a total embrace of our own darkness and the darkness of this world. Enlightenment does not come through habitually aligning with our egoic identity. And so as we breathe, as we feel, as we soften, I invite you to drop out of the voice of the mind, deep into the heart. Deep into the hara. And ask yourself, what is the truth? What is my next step? What is the truth? Not what is my human egoic truth. Not I want life to be fair. What is the truth? And are you willing to obey the truth? Follow the truth. Give your life to the truth. Now, there may be parts of you that say, no, I'm unwilling. But I'll tell you this. God has chosen to wake up in each of you. God has chosen to wake up in each of you. So God must know something about you, about your divinity. God has faith in this divinity, and that's why God is shining this light of Kundalini Shakti through your being. My question to you is, do you have the same faith as God? Or do you want to continue to align with an egoic worldview that doesn't seem to work well on the spiritual path? Will you choose to align with that which is the highest, or that which is the lowest? So we're breathing, we're feeling, we're opening. We're feeling into our hara. We're welcoming. This quiet, rumbling immensity, which says, yes, I will walk this path, my head held high. I will open my heart in the face of darkness. I will choose to love that which I have previously deemed unlovable. I will choose to have faith where there is none. I will forgive those who harmed me greatly because I know that love is the way. The truth is the way. The two wrongs don't make a right. I choose to love. I choose to love. I choose to open. I choose to trust. I drink from the cup at the holy table. I walk away from that which is lesser and walk in the direction of that which is true. And this is the path of Kundalini awakening. This is the path. The path of true love and true righteousness. And so, boys and girls, we are in Earth School, all of us. All of us. And it's a game of can you love? Are you willing to love? Are you willing to open? It's a game of absolute faith. It's a game of unlearning all the things the ego has taught us. And you're welcome to be mad at God, to scream and kick and whine and moan. Say, this is a crazy game. And it is. It is. But ultimately, I don't see God budging. I don't see God budging. We want to be victorious. We must choose love, choose the truth, choose to be fearless in the face of fear. And so, today's teaching was a little bit different today and a little bit harsh. I didn't make this game. I've tried to yell at God, ask God to change the rules numerous times. It never worked. It never worked. Now, occasionally, God will flood us with grace and with mercy, and you're always welcome to ask for that. But more often than not, God is looking at us and seeing if we are awake enough to ask for the strength to play the game, the love to show up, and to live our life with an open-heartedness.